Farm Radio Show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester and Lakin Russell. Hopefully all of you here in the studio had a nice weekend, and you out there listening as well, a nice weekend. A little bit of a chilly start to the weekend. We owe it all not only to the temperatures, but also some gusty winds coming out of the northeast and the north and the northwest. Kind of cooled things down just a little bit as we went through the later afternoon hours. We did see some temperatures work their way up into the mid to upper 60s, but it was late Saturday afternoon when that happened. And then on Sunday, we started off once again a little bit on the chilly side. We owe it all really to a high pressure system that was north of us. Now that high has been drifting through the state and taking up residence now in Ohio. As a result, as we go into the afternoon hours, we're going to see our temperatures gradually work their way up. I think we'll hit 80 by the time the day is all done, but it'll be late this afternoon, early this evening, when we finally do hit that 80-degree temperature. The high-pressure system is going to be drifting off to the east-southeast. So what we will be seeing is as that high moves away from us, it'll continue to gather some warmer air and push it up in our direction. That's why later this afternoon, the highest temperatures will be. And then overnight low, very typical of what we see the end of June, first part of July. We'll drop down right around 60 degrees. And then tomorrow will even be warmer. So Matthew, right now, where are we starting off here at just before noon?
Currently, over at the airport, it's sunny at 67. Over in Midland, it's sunny at 68. Here, Radio Center, it's sunny at 69. We have southwest winds at 12 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 30.00, and it's falling.
Falling off just a little bit, again, because that high-pressure system is going to be moving away from us, but not all that far, really, over to Virginia. But what is going to be happening is it'll be pretty much, it should be a mostly sunny day. Some of you might be saying, well, it's not really exactly sunny. The reason for that, again, as we have seen over the past few years, is smoke from Canada moving across the Great Lakes. It's at the higher elevations right now, so you're not really smelling it. It's not drifting all the way down to the ground. Fortunately, that is going to cause it to move away from us a little bit quicker. If you remember back a couple of 3 years ago, we had that smoky, hazy sky and smell like smoke for probably a good 2 to 3 weeks into a good part of the month of June. That's not going to be the case this year. Now, I mentioned about starting the morning off a little bit on the cool side. Most of us right around 40 degrees, 44, 45. Bad Axe started off at 36 this morning. Lapeer was looking at 38. Caro, you were at 36 this morning. West Branch, 35. Oscoda, 37. And Houghton Lake was at 36 degrees. And then, of course, the further north you get, the cooler it was. But that's not going to be happening much anymore. We're looking for a high temperature of real close to 80 degrees. As I said, it's going to take till later on this afternoon to hit it. Partly cloudy skies tonight with a low of 60. Sun will set this evening at 9:12. Rise tomorrow morning at 5:57. Now tomorrow, sun, clouds will be moving in late in the day. The reason for it, a low pressure system is going to be over Wisconsin. And that is going to be moving a little bit to the northeast as we go through the late afternoon and the evening hours tomorrow. But that high pressure system, that's what's going to pull all the warm air up at us. It'll be over Virginia, 86 for a high, only dropping down to 68 for a low tomorrow night. So again, very summer-like weather conditions. We will have a wind to contend with once again. Fortunately, tomorrow, it'll be coming out of the south. We're not looking for much wind at all. And as Matthew said, we have a southwest breeze at about 12. That's it. But tomorrow it'll be coming out of the south and gusting to 30 miles per hour. Southwest tomorrow night, still gusting to about 30 miles per hour. Then on Wednesday, our high temperature will be reached early in the day. What's going to be happening is there will be a chance of some scattered showers ahead of a cold front that will be moving through late Tuesday into the day on Wednesday. Now, Wednesday, that front will clear. We'll have a high temperature of 78, but then it'll drop down into the 60s as we move into the later afternoon on Wednesday. And we'll have a low on Wednesday night of 56. Now, along with that is going to come a change in the wind direction. On Wednesday, we'll start off with a southwest wind, 12, 15 miles per hour, but then turning into the northwest and decreasing about 5 to 10 miles per hour later in the day on Wednesday and Wednesday evening. Still, a chance of some showers around pretty much as we go through the day on Wednesday, but we're not looking for much in the way of precipitation at all. The latest projections that I've seen don't even indicate a quarter of an inch, and they have been decreasing in precipitation volume as we've seen the forecast come in over the last 24 hours. So Wednesday is going to be a mix of sun and clouds and some scattered showers. That front will move through early in the afternoon on Wednesday. Moving into Thursday, we'll still have some clouds around. We'll still have a chance of a scattered shower. Our high temperature on Thursday will be 72. And on Friday, a chance of a shower around again, but very scattered, not very good coverage. 75 for a high on Friday, 75 for a high on Saturday, and 78 for a high on Sunday. Long range take us all the way through the 15th of the month. Temperatures will be pretty close, if not a little bit above normal for this time of the year. Precipitation values will be normal. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by on this Monday, who do we have, Matthew?
Up next, we have Gary Kaufman from Star of the West, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
Well, before we get to them, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw, your complete parts and service headquarters for light, medium, heavy-duty trucks and trailers, as well as buses and recreational vehicles. Quality parts, service, very competitive prices for well over 45 years. 800-358-4751 or buy online at truckspring.com. We say good morning to Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. Gary, hope you had a nice weekend.
I sure did. Hopefully you did as well, Terry.
Sure did. Had to wear a jacket, though.
Yeah. Like you said, that wind out of the north, northwest, northeast, it was a little chilly.
Just a little bit. Hopefully the traders had a good weekend.
Yeah, it seems like, we flipped the calendar to June here now. So, I know we're looking for some kind of spark in the grain markets here. And, the weather for the next 2 weeks is kind of just what the doctor ordered, warm and wet in some of the spots. And so, there's really no weather premium in the market today. So that's been kind of a dragging on the grains here the last week or so and continues to do so moving forward until we see something change. the support we're getting this morning is the fact that Russia and Ukraine, again, ahead of their peace talks supposedly scheduled for today, had a lot of attacks on each other over the weekend. So that's given wheat a nice little bump here this morning. And then also, the new crop wheat exports are kind of booming. It's up 26% already from last year's total. So, a good start to the export channel on new crop. And soybeans is basically getting dragged down a little bit today, Terry, from the soy oil. And then basically Brazil, Argentina offers are a little bit cheaper than what the U.S. offers are now on a FOB basis. And again, no weather issues to say the least down in South America, and their harvest that's just starting on the corn. So all in all, I guess you got kind of unchanged on corn. You were up on wheat and down on beans today to start the new week.
So right now on the board, what do you have, Gary?
Yeah, let's call cash wheat up a dime, Terry. 534 on the white for old crop, 544 on the new crop. Cash red wheat up a dime as well at 459, both old and new. Cash corn unchanged at 384. New crop, we can call it up a penny at 375. Cash soybeans down 8 at 964, and new crop, let's call it down 9, Terry, at 938.
The Ukraine used to be a big player as far as wheat was concerned. Agriculture was, it was good in that country. You really wondered now, after how many years have they been fighting?
Well, I think it's just turned 3 years.
Yeah.
I believe in February there, it was 3-year anniversary of that war. So, yeah.
You wonder where they are as far as wheat production goes.
Yeah, you can continue to look at it. I know it's starting to decline a little bit, but, and Russia continues to export. They're the leading export in the world market on wheat. But you wonder how much of that wheat is actually in Russia, or have they taken over some of the Ukraine sites and captured some of that wheat for their own needs too. So it's hard to say what's going on, but we continue to watch, talking about Northern Europe, dry weather in Northern Europe and the Black Sea and Canada for that matter, and China. That's something we're going to continue to watch here in next week or so. They're pretty dry. So
yeah, they sure are. Thanks a lot, Gary. We'll talk to you a little bit later in the week. Okay.
Yep. Sounds good, Terry.
Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West, a little bit more in depth. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us right now. The market report brought to you by Thumb Bank, working with agriculture since 1895. They keep up with all the changes that farming has because there's obviously a lot of challenges out there. Industry trends, changes in the operation. It all goes together to make that bottom line work. Some banks, they're in the business of making that bottom line work. They're now in Freeland, along with 13 locations throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Market report also brought to you by Ed Raymond & Sons, quality clothing and shoes since 1919. Carhartt's, Red Wing shoes and boots, Stormy Cromer accessories, all available today at Ed Raymond's. 151 West Broad Street in Chesaning. They're open 7 days. You can check them out. Go online at edraymond's.com. Doug Klein, good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Here we go, starting off the new month.
Yeah, so the dollar's below 99 at 98.75. That's interesting. Crude oil's up $1.70, 62.40. So that's interesting. Trump announced some more tariffs on steel, a lot more. So Nucor is up about 10% today, 119. I heard Cleveland Cliffs is up 25% today. So that's interesting. Got the Dow down 0.5%, but the S&P's only flat, and the Nasdaq is up 0.2. So that's interesting also. Anyway, here's your numbers. July corn 4.44, unchanged. December corn 4.39, up 0.5 penny. July soybeans 10.35, down 6 3/4. November soybeans 10.18 down 8 1/4. July wheat is 5.44 1/4, up 10 1/4. And December wheat 5.80 up 9 1/2. The crude oil is 62.50, up $1.71. Heating oil 2.05, up 4.4 cents. Gasoline 2.06, up 4.5 cents. Natural gas 370 up 25.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, US dollar buys $1.37 Canadian, that's down 43 ticks. The dollar buys 142.74 yen, that's down 130 ticks. The euro's at 114.36, up 90 ticks. And the dollar's at 98.77, down 57 ticks. Gold's at 33.66.90, up 78 bucks an ounce. Silver's 34.41, up $1.52. Platinum's at 10.66.60, up $11.70. Copper's at 4.87 and a quarter. That's up 19.5 cents.
What a way to start the month, huh? Here we go.
Here we go.
You have a good one, Doug. Thank you.
you.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. We keep telling you about all the advice that Vic Huffer and his staff have got for you. All you got to do is ask them a question. There aren't too many questions they can't answer. They've been around for a while. They know what it takes to make things work. Remember, they've got a great selection of products from Sure Crop and Nature's that'll help you increase those yields as we move through the growing months. So check them out. Serving you is their business, and they've been doing it since 1983. Freeland Bean and Grain. Let's find out what's going on as far as the sugar beet industry is concerned. Sitting in for us today from the West region, agronomist there, we have Ethan Patterson. Ethan's report brought to you by the folks at Foster Blue Water Oil and Blue Flame Propane. Ethan, good morning and welcome to the farm program. How you doing?
Good, Terry. How are you this morning?
Hey, fantastic. You know, we had kind of a chilly weekend out there, but it didn't hurt anything, did it?
No, it didn't. In fact, some fields that I looked at the end of last week, checked back on this morning, and that little bit of sunshine we got yesterday really did them good.
Boy, it did them great. I just hope that this warm weather doesn't shock them too much right now, going from 60s to 80 to 85 degrees. But we need a little rain, don't we?
Oh, no, I would say here in the West District, at least, we could go a few more days yet and get some of these beets with a little wet feet, get them dried out. We're sitting pretty good right now.
I was just going to say, how do they look right now, Ethan?
Yeah, they look pretty good. You know, the early April planted beets, they're a little bit lower stands. They're farther along. They look pretty dang good. And then you get into the later April beets, and those look really, really nice for the most part. And get into that May planting window, the few stragglers that were left to catch up, those are kind of a mixed bag.
So at this stage of the game, Ethan, recommendation to producers, what should they be looking at? What should they be doing?
Yeah, so I would imagine pretty much everybody's got their first roundup and lay-by application put on, whether that be Warrant, Outlook, or Dual Magnum. And looking at the second, Rhizoctonia application of Excalia or Quadris should be going on probably pretty soon, and be thinking about that side dress window if you're doing that. Seems to be everything's holding up that I've seen that's had those applications. Looks pretty good. And then of course, the Rhizoctonia going on now will ensure that we got a pretty nice crop going into fall, and really be thinking about what your Cercospora plan is going to be going in here middle of June. Probably start thinking about spraying is right around the corner. So
yep, and all we need is once we get into that season, the wind's got to die down a little bit.
Yeah, that's for sure. And it doesn't look like tomorrow is going to be very good for that, right?
It sure doesn't. Ethan, hey, it's always good to talk. Thank you so much for being a part of the program, and we'll talk to you again next week, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks, Terry.
You bet. Ethan Patterson with Michigan Sugar. And again, his report brought to you by the folks at Foster Blue Water Oil. Learn more about quality products and services to keep you moving forward. Foster Blue Water Oil, supplying fuel, propane, lubricants, diesel exhaust fluid, and energy services for over 80 years. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Legendary Tree Care. Hey, you need a tree removed? What about some just plain old trimming? Well, No job is too big or too small with the folks at Legendary Tree Care. They are fully licensed and insured, and they do specialize in big projects. LegendaryTreeCare.com is where you can find them or like them on Facebook. Coming up next, Matthew, who do we have?
Up next, we have Jerry Samalski from the Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville.
Jerry, good morning. How are you this morning?
Wonderful, Terry. What a great Sunday to get out there and get some yard work done.
Yeah, it sure was. So what should we be aware of right now, Jerry?
You know, Terry, it's this year we had a lot of maple helicopters, or those seeds that came out. And so I think the reason that is because we had such a dry fall last fall. Plants weren't happy going into winter, and when plants see stress and they're fruiting, they'll fruit extra heavy. And I think this year we're seeing a lot of maple seedlings for that. But, you know, the pollinator thing, I don't know if we talked about this before. If not, it's worth mentioning. You know, everybody's pollinator friendly and wants to do all that, and they want to plant flowers. Well, I've been told that one of the most important flowers to the bees are maple trees, because maples flower so early that the bees are looking for something to get nutrition when the weather starts getting nice, and that's when the maple trees flower. And people go, what do you mean maple trees don't flower? Well, of course they do, because if they didn't, their fruit, those helicopters, would be littering everybody's yard right now.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, so, you know, again, pollinators, let's just keep a lot of plants that flower, keep things growing, plant trees, plant shrubs, and we're going to take care of our pollinators just fine.
Yeah, that sounds good. Jerry, take care. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jerry Samalski. Another Jerry we should touch base with here real quick, our ag-based attorney, Jerry Reif. Jerry, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing?
Hey, we're doing fantastic. Real quick, we've had a few questions regarding power of attorney. What are you recommending, Jerry?
So it's really important, especially at this time of the year when we have young people graduating from high school and going on for their own livelihood and career, etc. They turn 18, and what happens is, in case of any kind of a financial or any kind of a medical emergency, who do they contact? You know, whoever it happens to be that's trying to resolve it. Well, if you have a power of attorney, you can, of course, change it all you want during your lifetime, and it avoids probate. That's the key. And you get to choose somebody you want to make some medical decisions in case you can't speak, or financial decisions in case you have bills to be paid and you're wherever. You're alive, and of course, that's what powers of attorney are all about. But the important thing is, as soon as you turn 18, you really need documents like that in place for both power of attorney for medical and power of attorney for financial and legal, because life moves on. Now, I know when I was in the Army, and before you got shipped out, you signed all those documents, so they take care of that, you know. But what we're doing here at my law office is we're doing it at a discount, because we encourage people 18 or older to have the power of attorney, medical and financial. Have them both. Michigan has a uniform statute, just like 50 other 49 states. And so you can travel with it. Power of attorney works very well if and when you need it. And we have a free brochure. If you want one, just call me at 989-790-1461 or go to my website, jerryreiflawyer.com. We got a free brochure. And I really encourage people to have a power of attorney. I don't care what kind of estate plan you have, but your power of attorney is lifetime only, but very, very important.
Good advice. Jerry, 989-790-1461, right?
That's it. You got it.
Yeah, you're a good teacher. Jerry, we'll talk to you again, okay?
Okay. Just try to keep people out of trouble.
There you go. Jerry Reif. Lake and Dew Russell. Let's topic of conversation today was sugar beets. It's not just sugar that's a part of the sugar beet industry, is it?
No, it is not. Although sugar is the primary reason we grow sugar beets, byproducts include pulp and molasses. Molasses is used in sweet feed for cattle, and beet pulp is high in fiber and extremely digestible for beef cattle, horses, dairy cows, and sheep. The fiber is 90% digestible by the microbes in the stomach of ruminant animals, which supplies energy and bulk to the diet. Exhibitors at fairs will feed their calves beet pulp to help them grow, but keep weight off. Beet lime is another byproduct that serves the same purpose as ground limestone in growing legumes that do not thrive in acidic soils. Michigan Sugar sells its unusable sugar to the Road Commission in Canada to salt roads. Every part of the sugar beet is used by companies like Michigan Sugar, and nothing goes to waste.
Wow, that is amazing. A lot of people don't know that.
No, that is true. And even though they salt the roads with it, the sweetness attracts the animals, and the animals increases the accidents on the road a little bit, but they do like the taste.
Yeah, they sure do. Lakin, thank you very much. That was interesting.
Yes, thank you.
Lakin do Russell. We'll take a 30-second break and be right back.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
We now conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.